Hi, today we're going to answer the question, how do I get the blankety blank thing open? This has been a painful video for me because I've had to start over several times, and part of the problem is I don't want to have 15 bottles of wine open just to consume in one night. Even for me, that's a lot. So, getting right to the point here. Here we have a bottle. Here we have an opener. I'm going to show this in close-up, so I'm just going to go over some things real quickly first. And I want to talk about the opener. I'm going to just cover this one. This is referred to as the waiter's opener, or waiter's corkscrew, something like that. This is probably one of the most popular types, and it certainly is my favorite type. Now, what I want to explain first of all, we have the opener on top here. I'm going to show you this in this profile. A little knife here. That's going to be for cutting the capsule, which is this thing on top. Now, capsules can be plastic. The better ones are foil. So if it's either one, the knife will work, although it works better on the foil one. Okay, once you have the capsule cut, and I will show this in a moment, then we open it up. We have the screw part here, obviously the main part of this thing. And then, I don't know if there's an official name for this. I'm going to just call it the fulcrum, because this works off leverage. And, you know, the whole physics thing, you have to give you a lever long enough and a fulcrum upon which to place it. I think that was Archimedes. Maybe not, I don't know. Anyway, can move the world. So, that's what I'm going to call this. I'm going to call it fulcrum. If that's not the right name, forgive me. Shoot me, something. Okay, so, now what I'm going to do is, let's go close up here. So, I'll be moving the camera and be right back with you. Okay, well, let's get started. As I said before, we have this little bit on top. This is the capsule, and there's a couple ways to get it off. I mean, if you want to be fancy about it, that's what I'm going to show you here in a moment, but there's also simpler ways. Sometimes you just grab a hold of them, twist, and wiggle it off. That's usually what I do when I'm just at home opening up a bottle for myself. Another possibility, if it's too tight on there and you can't do that, you can take the knife and then just kind of cut the edge of it, get a little bit out of there, and I'll do this part way, but not all the way. Just get it started, and you can just kind of unzip that thing, and it'll come right off. Some of them are easier than others. But now, if you want to do the fancy, more official way, this is how you do it. Now, if you can see right here, there's a little bit of a ridge, and this is where you want to place the knife. And I'm going to have to tip this over a little bit, so there we go. And what you want to do is just take that knife and kind of hold it in place, you know, brace it with your thumb behind, which I don't know if you can see that. And there we go. And then just turn the bottle, and once you get all the way through, the capsule should just pop right off. And you know what? This is plastic after all. I thought it was foil. Okay. Probably shouldn't do this against the bookcase, but hopefully you can see okay. Alright, now I've got this thing open, and give you a little closer look at it. Now you notice that screw is in a coil. It's not a screw like a wood screw here, relative to the cork. So you don't, if you put it all the way down to the bottom, that cork's going to be popping out. You can, oops, see it that way maybe? So you want to stop it just before that. That way, if you see here, this is one I took a little too far and it's kind of crumbly on the end. Oh, actually that was the end I stuck it into. The same thing would happen if you screwed it in all the way. You tend to pull these bits out and you have little floaty bits of cork in your wine. It doesn't hurt it, it just looks kind of bad. So now let's see, let's get this going here. Best way to do this is you take the pointy end and kind of center it right in there. And this may be hard to see, but I'll try. And kind of just get a little hole started and then tip it vertical and get it so that, twist it around so now you're going to go straight down into that cork. And I'm going to have to do this setting it down flat. There we go. Now, once you get it in there, just a turn or two, it becomes real easy and it's real self-guiding. And we tip this up just a bit. And you'll see all it takes is a couple fingers and you can twist that right in. I don't even hardly have to watch. You do want to kind of keep an eye on it, make sure it's going straight, but not too hard. Let's get that in there the rest of the way. Now, if you notice right here, I've stopped it about a quarter turn, half turn maybe, before going all the way in. I'm going to turn that around, maybe you can see it better that way. So, this will keep, in most corks I'll say, there are exceptions, but most corks that will keep it from punching out the bottom. Now, the other thing I want to warn you about is don't go halfway and then try and pull it out and then go the rest of the way. Because what that does, first of all, is if you only drill it down into the cork, I'll move this aside for a moment. If you only go about halfway down the cork, you pull it out. Well, if you've got a weak cork, that cork is literally just going to break in half. You'll have the bottom half still stuck in the bottle and the top half will come out. Oops, sorry. Move my hands. Let's try that again. You'll have the bottom half stuck in the bottle still, and only the top half will come out, but it will be down inside, not right at the top. Trust me, you don't want to do it. You want to get that screw all the way down, well, at least this far down, so it's right next to the bottom, and that gives you the most strength for pulling it out. Okay, now, once you have it in, what you want to do is you take your fulcrum and move it down. Now you tip this back, and you'll notice a little notch in the fulcrum here is where you want to put that right on the edge of the bottle. Oops, there we go. Okay, so now get it secured on there. I got to figure out a way to do this so you can see it. There we go. Alright, so you just kind of hold that in place with your finger. It doesn't take a lot of pressure, you just want to keep it from slipping off. But the next thing is you grab it, and if you're standing up, you can take it this way. I'm sitting down, so I'm going to go the other way, kind of underhanded, and do this way, which is going to be hard to show on the camera. I should have done this from the other side of the table. Okay, if this doesn't come out right, you're going to have another one after this showing. Okay, so you just tip this up, and you want to take this as straight up as possible. Okay, now at that point, I am all the way up. I cannot bend that any further back. So that means, and you see I'm almost out. If you compare it to another cork, I've got maybe 1/8 of an inch to go. Well, that much, you can just kind of wiggle out. I'm going to try to move this close so you can hear it when I pull it out. Listen. Okay, did you hear that? Go, little noise? That's what you want to hear. That means the cork was in tight. As you're pulling it up, you're creating a little low pressure. And right now I'm just taking the cork off. Just twist, hold, twist, hold, twist, hold, and it comes right off. Okay, you always kind of want to take a quick look at the cork. You want to see, first of all, the end should be wet where you just pulled it out because the wine was touching it. You want to kind of just inspect it, make sure there's no obvious damage. Okay, just take a sniff, it smells good, and then you're ready to pour, which is what we're going to do. Cheers. If you learned something, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe, then you'll know when each one of the new videos comes out. And I'm aiming for one a week, and so far I've been hitting that, which means not a whole lot because I've only been up a week. So anyway, thanks for watching.